the Key School, Wild Lake, and Andover on It's Academic.
It's Academic, brought to you by Giant Food. Giant, quality you can count on, value you can trust from the people who care. And by the Pants Corral, for all your fashion needs, featuring Levi's for guys, gals, and kids.
Well, the Key School partisans are here. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first show of 1984 on It's Academic, the high school competition which brings to you the fine young people of the Baltimore and Maryland area each week at this time. Team number 1 in 1984 is the Key School in Annapolis, Maryland. First for the Key School today is Ed Dulles. Tell us about yourself, Ed.
My name is Ed Dulles. I'm a 17-year-old senior. I'm a member of the varsity soccer and lacrosse teams, and I'm on the staff of the student newspaper. I'd also like to thank our faculty advisors, Ray Haas and Mr. and Mrs. Voigt.
Thank you, Ed. The captain of the team is Julia Cohen. Welcome, Julia.
My name is Julia Cohen. I'm a 15-year-old junior. I write for our school newspaper, and I'd like to thank our alternates, Mary Iliff and Margaret Bailey.
All right, and here's Laura Sweeney. Laura?
My name is Laura Sweeney. I'm a 16-year-old senior. I'm a member of the varsity field hockey and lacrosse teams. I'm a co-editor of the school newspaper, and I'd like to thank all the people from Key who came to support us this morning.
They're here, all right, and now take a look at your screens. Each question you answer correctly in this round worth 20 points to you. Anagram, learn on, devils. The letters can be rearranged to name what notorious prison camp where poor devils from the Union Army were held in Georgia during the Civil War.
Devil's Island.
No, Andersonville is the answer. No points on that one. Now, here's a root question. All of these words are rooted in the Latin word brevis, a word best defined by what adjective that we use to describe certain stories, less than 10,000 words in length.
Short.
That's right, or brief, yes. Now, what same word placed in these blanks will suggest familiar quotations from Edna St. Vincent Millay and Shakespeare?
Candle.
Candle, yes. Two-parter each worth 20. These characters of Hawthorne's shared the same initials, but they did not share the same novel. In what two different novels do these women appear?
House of Seven Gables and Scarlet Letter.
That's right, have them both. Missing vowel, the name you see is missing all its vowels. Can you complete the word to name a modern American scientist who has received 2 Nobel Prizes, one for peace, the other for chemistry? He's also a firm believer in the healthful properties of vitamin C. Who is that? Do you have it?
Pass.
No, the answer is Linus Pauling. Pauling is the man we were looking for. Here's the quotation. Better is the enemy of good. You can better your score by 20 by identifying the source of this quotation as what 18th century French philosopher who wrote the satirical novel Candide.
Voltaire.
Voltaire is right. So 100 for the Key School after their part of the round. Well, moving on to 1984. We take a turn around and get to Howard County, Maryland, to Columbia, Maryland, to greet the young people from Wild Lake. First for Wild Lake is Kamala Sundaram. Kamala?
Hi, I'm a 16-year-old senior. I'm a member of the math team, the newspaper staff, and I have an avid interest in horses. And I'd like to thank our alternates, Jim, Rebecca, and Gabriel.
How is that avid interest manifest, Kamala? Do you have your own horse?
Yes, I have 2.
Wonderful. Well, we'll be seeing you at the equestrian events, I'm sure, very soon in the Olympics. Here's the captain, Stephen Dietz. Stephen?
Hello, I'm a 16-year-old junior. I'm on the math team, tapestry staff, and I sing in the barbershop and choir. And I'd like to thank our sage and mentor, Mrs. Willis.
Well, are you a tenor, or what's your...
Baritone.
Light a rose, oh, light a rose. You do that one from what the heck is the name of that song? Music Man, that's right. All right, here's John Overdeck.
Yes, hello, I'm a 13-year-old sophomore at Wild Lake. I'm captain of the math team and a member of the chess team. I would like to thank our band and the fans who came out to support us today.
Okay, John, and we're happy to introduce the principal of Wild Lake, Dr. Donald Matthews. Thank you, Dr. Matthews. The Wild Lake drum major, Bill Schneider. There you go, Bill. And from several years back, the last several years on the team, now at the University of Chicago, helped along by the It's Academic Scholarship Program, Richard Shaker. Stand up, Richard, take a bow. Wonderful to see you again. All right. Let's have you look at your screens, please, Wild Lake, and regard question number 1. This phrase might suggest a courtside beverage, but the letters can be rearranged to name what island where Napoleon Bonaparte ended his life in exile in 1821.
No, it's not.
Which one is that?
St. Go ahead.
St. Elmo.
No, St. Helena or Helena, if you wish. No points. Though these words have different meanings, they all stem from the Latin for what one word that Dickens gave to Oliver as a last name.
Twist.
Twist, yes. Now, to complete phrases from John Milton's Lycidas and from Margaret Mitchell's Gone with the Wind, you need in the spaces here what same word?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. This is another day, yeah. With Central America so much in the news today, it's important to know that these are the capitals of what two countries in that area?
Nicaragua and Honduras.
That's right. Missing vowels. The letters represent a word with all its vowels missing. Can you complete it? And name the 18th century French chemist who discovered oxygen.
Yes.
Lavoisier.
Lavoisier is right. Quotation, the only way round is through. This travel advice offered by what 20th century American poet who also penned The Road Not Taken and Stopping by the Woods on a Snowy Evening.
Frost.
That's right. So your score, Wildlife 120 after your part of the round. 120. Now we're back in Anne Arundel County to greet the young people from Andover in Linthicum. First for Andover is Doug Molesky. Doug?
I'm a 17-year-old senior. I'm the literary editor of the Nebula magazine, and I'm... Okay.
That's pretty good so far, yeah.
I'd like to thank the band for
Sure,
coming.
some of them are here. Thank you very much, Doug. Captain of this team is Mike Hughes. Mike?
Okay, I'm a 17-year-old senior. I'm a thespian, and I'm involved in the literary magazine. And just recently I received the National Council of Teachers of English Writing Award.
Marvelous, Mike. What's coming up with your Thespian Society? Do you know yet?
I'm directing the junior one-act play, which is coming up soon.
Will that be in January or February?
That'll be in April.
All right, pretty far down the line. Okay, Mike, here's Brian Colder. Brian?
Hi, I'm Brian Colder. I'm a 16-year-old junior from Andover. I started on the varsity soccer team. I'd like to thank our alternates, Dave Lott, Steve Moore, and Craig Hoffman, and our principal, Ms. Hicks, and our faculty advisor, Ms. Bishop.
All right, Brian, and we do indeed welcome the principal of Andover, Ms. Shirley Hicks. Thank you, Ms. Hicks. Please stand and take a bow. There she is. All right. You get a picture of her? Well, anyway, Ms. Hicks is back there. And also Brian Gary of Andover and members of the band. Stand up, Brian. Take a bow. Ms. Hicks is over there, too. Okay, now let's get to your work here, Andover. Take a look at the screen. You can turn this phrase, is a bay sin. You'll have it in a moment. It'll be coming up, is a bay sin. Turn this phrase from sin and gain 20 by rearranging the letters to form what name formerly given to the African country now known as Ethiopia.
Abyssinia.
You know that?
Abyssinia.
Abyssinia.
Abyssinia is right. All of these words are rooted in the Greek word theo, a combining form for what almighty being in whom we trust, according to this God, of course. Now, single answer. You can complete the titles of John Knowles' two best-known books when you add in the blanks what same word?
Peace.
Peace is right, yes, two-parter. These were two of the major military engagements of the Civil War. In order to tour the sites of these battles, you must visit what two states?
Virginia and Maryland.
Right, exactly right. Now, all the vowels are missing from the word. Can you complete the word name the Polish astronomer who propounded the theory? Say again.
Copernicus.
Copernicus is right. Now, we all have flaws, and mine is being wicked. This quotation comes from the work of what American cartoonist and humorist who was wickedly funny in such stories as The 13 Clocks and The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. Who was that?
Thurber.
That's right. You have them all. 140 for Andover, the end of round one. Perfect score. Nice work. All right, thank you very much to our studio audience. A reminder that each year on its academic Giant Food awards more than 100 scholarships to help deserving students continue their educations. That's why we're so delighted to see Richard Shaker with us today. At the end of today's show, three guests from Giant will present the awards, and I'll move out of the way so you can see who they are right now. Thanks very much to Jerry Brash. There's Jerry, Terry Huber, and yes, Tammy Grimes, who are here today for taking time from their store work. The grants total $500 with the winning team school receiving $200. Each of the other schools receives $150. When we have the playoff matches later in the year among the first round winners, the Giant scholarships total $1,000 with the winning team school receiving $400. Each of the other schools receives $300. Reminder, the Giant never selects the individual recipients of the scholarships. The schools do that. Now, before we get into the next round, here's the update on the score from the last round. Key School has 100, Wild Lake in second, 120, and over the lead, 140. All right. And now in our next round, the entirely visual round, each question answered correctly is worth 10 to the team. However, 10 points are deducted for a wrong answer. I acknowledge the team whose light I see on as I look up from asking the question. Here's number one. This 19th century Christmas card shows holiday revelers cavorting beneath a sprig of what green shrub used as an excuse, all right, to enter. Mistletoe. Yep. Wait now, this is a view of England's mysterious Stonehenge. Historians speculate that these megaliths were raised during what prehistoric age? Named for an alloy of copper and tin. Who has that? Anybody got that? Andover.
Bronze.
Bronze Age is right. Mort Kunstler here depicts a colonial print shop. Freedom of the press had been advanced in 1735 by the trial and acquittal of what New York printer charged with libel? Who was that famous man?
Thomas Paine?
No, it was John Peter Zenger, so 10 down. Now, regard the monitor and simplify the Radicand Wild Lake.
2 radical 3.
That's exactly right. This morning picture dated 1810, none of it's academic, is unusual in early American art because it's painted upon what fine fabric made from thread spun by worms. All right, Wild Lake, the lightest.
Linen.
No, it's silk. Silk, 10 down. This map depicts the West African country of Ghana, which before its independence was identified as what coast? Named for a precious metal. Wild Lake.
Gold Coast.
The Gold Coast is right. This portrait of a member of the Medici family is the work not of an Italian, but rather of what foremost Flemish painter of the 17th century. I don't see any light. Is there a light on? Wiley, go ahead.
Rembrandt.
No, Rubens. 10 points down. This is the Mayan Indian god Yum-Cax, who might have been nicknamed Yum Yum because he was worshipped as the creator of what bean used in making chocolate. Andover.
Cocoa.
That's right, a cocoa or cocoa is right, the one we needed. Built in 1832, this is the Reform Club of London. Among its members were many, not enough, that's the Liberal Party, and that's the end of the visual round. Okay. Now in the next round, once again we'll have direct competition. However, 10 points up for a right answer this time, but 20 points deducted for a wrong answer. Today's category round is rather nautical in tone, as it's made up of titles with persons and things you might encounter on a voyage. Please fill in the blanks to complete each salty title, and here is number one. Let's take a look at it, and there it is, the old man and the what Wild Lake. The sea is right. The next one, rhyme of the what Wild Lake?
Mariner.
That's right. How about this one, blank of fools Andover? Ship of fools. How about this one, the blank of the Hesperus Wild Lake? I don't hear you.
Boat.
No, I'm sorry, 20 down, the wreck of the Hesperus. Next, the shoes of the what? Who has that? Andover?
Fisherman.
Fisherman is right. How about this one? My Bonnie lies where, Andover?
Ocean.
Ocean is right. The lady of the what, Andover?
Lake.
That's right. How about this one? A descent into the what? Or Andover?
Depths.
Maelstrom, 20 down. The blank, all right, the Wild Lake?
Pirates.
Pirates is right. How about this one? The sea what? Who has that one? Wild Lake?
Gulls.
Seagull is right. How about this one? A Benchley novel. All right, Andover.
Jaws.
Jaws or the deep or the island. That's good. The final one, to the what? Anybody have that? That's the lighthouse, and that's the end of the category round. Our regular Doc Severinsen back there behind me with the third group. Welcome back. Now I introduce the faculty advisors, the coaches for the teams, and we also give you the score. The team from the Key School in Annapolis has a score of 90. We welcome their faculty advisor today, who's here for Mr. Ray Haas. Here's Mr. Walter Voigt. Thank you very much, Mr. Voigt, for being with us. The team from Wild Lake in Columbia has second place right now. They have 140. Their faculty advisor, Ms. Jerry Willis. Welcome again, Ms. Willis. The team from Andover in Linthicum has the lead. Now they have 200. Their faculty advisor, Ms. Kathy Bishop. Thank you, Ms. Bishop, for being here. All right. right, we're moving along into the next round, and in this round, each question answered correctly again worth 20. However, 20 points deducted for a wrong answer, and 10 now for a past question. At the end of the round, the past questions are available to the other teams for possible points. See the lights below the team's name and above the students' heads? Well, if they're on in a row like that, that'll show 10 questions in a row answered correctly. 25 points extra for that. The Key School is up, so Wild Lake selects. Stephen, which of these?
Number 3.
Number 3. Let's see what it does now for Ed, Julia, and Laura. At the famous tea party in Alice in Wonderland, the March Hare rented, and the Mad Hatter spread butter on his watch. What animal curled up in the teapot and fell asleep? Who was that?
Pass.
10 down on that one. Now, sculptors might discuss Brancusi, but collectors of what type of musical instrument talk about Amati, Guarneri, and Stradivari?
Violin.
That's right. Nellie Bly was a newspaper woman who gained fame by taking in 72 days what same trip that it took the fictional Phileas Fogg 80 days to accomplish.
Around the world.
Around the world is right. Now, on the monitor, in the expression, evaluate for C equals 3 and D equals 4. You have it?
21.
No, 75 is the answer, so 20 down. A painting of the sea battle of Salamis would show ancient Greeks sinking the fleet of what empire ruled by Xerxes?
Persia.
Persia, yes. Choice physicists in the 19th century postulated a luminiferous medium through which light waves propagate in free space. What was this medium called? Phlogiston, ether, caloric?
Pass.
10 down there. Now, listen to the music, please. Here it comes. This patriotic march was banned by the Nazis in 1938 after the Anschluss, the action by which Germany took over what neighboring country that was Hitler's birthplace?
Austria.
That's right. A square has a diagonal of length 2 times the square root. Not enough there. We have a couple of lights up. The light I see first is Andover. Your answer?
Dormouse.
Dormouse for the Alice in Wonderland. And Wild Lake? Ether, of course, for the other answer. That's good. So Key School has 130 after its part of the round. 130. And now it is the turn for Wild Lake in Columbia. So Andover select. Mike, which of these?
Number 1.
All right, let's see how Kamala, Stephen, and John in Columbia do now. The Venus de Milo once had great bone structure, but today she has neither ulna or radius because she lacks what limbs of her body?
Arms.
That's right. In the title of his poem, Beat, Beat Drums, Walt Whitman twice uses what punctuation mark that also gives double emphasis to his title, Oh, Captain, My Captain?
Apostrophe.
Exclamation
Answer
mark.
for the captain?
Exclamation.
That's right. Now, a sailor might have a rocky voyage going from Spain to Morocco through what strait, itself named for a rocky promontory?
Gibraltar.
Louder?
Gibraltar.
That's right. Now, on the monitor, perform the multiplication indicated. Give me the answer.
3.
That's right. Man, amazing. Now, choice, if your local Army commander quartered soldiers in your home, would you be able to claim protection under the 3rd, 5th, or 19th Amendment?
3rd.
3rd is right. Choice, as a gas at constant volume is heated, the average kinetic energy of its molecules increases, decreases, stays the same.
Increases.
Increases, right. Listen to the music, please. Here it is. Well, the so-called bogus fraternity march was written by Charles Ives when he was at Yale. Its title includes the name of what last letter of the Greek alphabet?
Omega.
That's right. If an angle has a cosine of 0 and a negative sign, what is the sign of the angle?
-1.
That's right, exactly right. What modern American playwright contemplated his own unhappy family life in A Long Day's Journey of the Night? Eugene O'Neill. So, real move there, about 9 out of 10. So Wild Lake 340 after this part of it. 340. Very nice. Turn for Andover and Linthicum. So, Julia, the Key School select. Which of these?
2.
All right. Is 2 still there? It is. All right. Where am I? This is Baltimore, remember. Here we go. Now, to many people, a buck is a dollar bill. But in the novel Call of the Wild, buck is what sort of animal? Often described as man's best friend. Say it again.
A deer.
No, he's a dog. I'm sorry, 20 down. The imaginary line about which the Earth rotates shares what same name with the World War II alliance of Germany, Italy, and Japan?
Axis.
Axis. When he signed his name, what vice president of Thomas Jefferson's did so with double A's at the beginning of his first name, double R's at the end of his second?
Aaron Burr.
That's right, Aaron Burr. On the monitor, what are the factors of the trinomial on the monitor? do you say?
Pass.
You pass? What are you saying?
6 and 4. 6 and 4.
Do I need more than that? Don't I? I need M plus 4, M minus 6. I'm sorry, so 20 down. Samuel Johnson had his Boswell, but what was the name of Don Quixote's humorous companion?
Pass.
Art 10 down. Choice, the work required to remove a given electron from its atomic orbit and place it at rest at an infinite distance is called dissociation constant, isomerism, or ionization energy.
Ionization energy.
That's right. Listen to the music, please. This is My Mother Bids Me Bind My Hair, a song by what Austrian composer whose nickname was Papa? Who was that?
Pass.
Art 10 down, don't bring back the sound questions. That was Haydn. An auditorium contains 350 students. If 60% of them are girls, how many boys? There's more to that. You don't have to answer it unless you wish to. Do you wish it? You're giving it up? All right. 140 is the answer there. And over 220. And we do have one past question. Lionel's Wild Lake, your answer?
Sancho.
Sancho Panza, of course, for Don Quixote's buddy. The end of round number 3. Oh, God. All right, let's take a look at the scores now before we go into the grab bag free-for-all. The team from the Key School in Annapolis has 130. Wild Lake in Columbia, the lead now, 360. And over in Linthicum, 220, and second right now. All right. Grab bag free-for-all time here in 1984. Let's get to our first question. 20 up for a right answer, 20 off for a wrong answer. When writing a limerick, even the most ambitious poet must confine himself to how many lines of verse?
5.
Wild Lake, 5 is right. Should you end your tour of London in the city's East End, you'd hear spoken what dialect? All right, Andover.
Cockney.
That's right. Puccini pinned down the loyalty of lepidopterists. All right,
Butterflies.
Wild Lake again?
Butterflies.
That's right, Madam Butterfly. Choice. All food chains can be traced back to bacteria, a green plant, or a fungus. What's that? Our Andover?
The green plant.
That's right. Recently completing a mission aboard the U.S. Space Shuttle was what first astronaut from Western Europe, a German...
Ulf Gimstrom.
No, I'm sorry, Ulf Merbold. I'm sorry, 20 down. Though West Virginia is nicknamed the Mountain State, what western state on the Canadian border has postal initials that signify a mountain? Who has that Andover?
Montana.
Montana, empty. The main concern of Hans Brinker was a pair of silver skates. But a Hans Christian Andersen heroine was intrigued by a pair of shoes, Andover. Say it again.
Wooden.
Red shoes. I'm sorry, 20 down. If sine 2x equals 1, what is the smallest...
45.
That's right. Smallest positive value is correct. As part of the ransom for raising the siege of Rome in 408, Alaric demanded what spice, whose varieties today include red, black, and cayenne, wildly...
Pepper.
Pepper, yes. Japan is famous as the land of the rising sun. But Norway is known as the land of another type of sun, referring to a late hour Andover.
Setting.
Midnight sun. Lionel Hampton. Here, a worker who is promoted to 20 down there. Worker who is promoted to journeyman has taken a step up from what craft rank Andover?
Apprentice.
That's right. Poison ivy is rarely a killer, but in the time of Socrates, what poison plant?
Hemlock.
Hemlock, of course, Wiley. Novelist Samuel Butler once observed that America is not the place to be what type of person who possesses an extremely high IQ. Who has that, Wiley?
Genius.
Genius, yes. Choice, heavy water is so called because it contains what?
Deuterium.
Deuterium is right, Wiley. Now, evidence that man lived in Africa more than 2 million years ago has been found at Olduvai Gorge in what modern nation formed from Zanzibar and Tanganyika. Anybody know that, Wiley?
Tanzania.
It's called Tanzania, but that's right, absolutely right. Tourists in Rome seldom miss what subterranean cemeteries were, all right, Andover?
The crypts.
No, the catacombs, specifically catacomb 20 down, and that's the end of the game. It's all over. All right, thank you very much, everybody, as we roar into 84. Here's the result of our first program of the new year. Thanks very much to the young people from the Key School in Annapolis. They put up 130 points, and here's a scholarship for $150 presented by Tammy Grimes. That's right, yes, Tammy, courtesy clerk at the Giant Food and Pharmacy in the Laurel Shopping Center in Laurel, Maryland. Thank you, Ed, Julia, and Laura. Best of everything at 84. Excellent team from Andover in Linthicum has a score of 240, another scholarship for $150. That's Terry Huber from the Giant in the Glen Burnie Shopping Center, Glen Burnie, Maryland, making the award. Hey, best of everything at 84, Doug, Mike, and Brian. And here's our winning team and winning score in Columbia, Maryland, 500 points. Wild Lake High School is winning today. And the Giant scholarship for $200 is presented by Jerry Brash from the Giant in the Wild Lake Village Shopping Center in Columbia. So it means our winning team, Wild Lake, Kamala, Stephen, and John, will be with us again in 1984 as they face two other first-round winners in a playoff match a little later on in the season. Next week, we'll be meeting Calvert, Hall, Meade, and Centennial on the show. I'm Mac McGarry. Once again, I'll say Happy New Year. Thanks very much for being with us. And now, come on up here. So long, everybody.
It's Academic has been brought to you by Giant Food. Giant, quality you can count on, value you can trust from the people who care. And by the Pants Corral for all your fashion needs, featuring Levi's for guys, gals, and kids.